Okay, so today we're going deep on EINs,
AS.
employer identification numbers.
Yeah.
I
Fascinating stuff.
I mean, it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it is
Right.
something that everyone starting a business is going to have to deal with.
You got it.
And we're going to try to make it a little less scary than it might seem.
Absolutely.
So
We actually have a pretty good video from the IRS as a starting point.
okay, cool.
Yeah. Like, which, that's...
Yeah, you don't always expect that from.
No.
You don't always expect a good video from the IRS.
No, you don't. But this one's actually quite well done.
Okay.
So it breaks things down in a simple way.
What does the video tell us? What are the main takeaways?
Well, the first thing that really jumped out at me is that getting an EIN is actually pretty easy.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. It's way easier than you might think.
Okay.
You can do it all online in just a few minutes.
Free.
Absolutely free.
Okay, cool.
No need to hire some expensive lawyer or anything like that.
No paperwork?
No paperwork.
So I could do this all online in a few minutes.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. All right. Well, that takes a lot of the scariness out of it.
Right.
One thing I noticed in the video that they talk about is this responsible party concept.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, and they say you need their social security number.
Right.
So I guess it makes sense that it's like a social security number, but for your business.
Exactly.
But what is a responsible party?
So the responsible party is basically the person who's really in control of the business,
Okay.
the one who's calling the shots.
What if there's multiple partners?
Right. That's where it can get a little tricky.
Okay.
You have to figure out who has the ultimate authority.
Okay, so it's not always just like the owner or the CEO or something.
Not necessarily. It depends on how the business is structured.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So we kind of already touched on this, but why do I need a separate EIN? Like, why can't I just use my social security number?
Well, think about it this way. Your personal social security number is tied to your individual finances, your taxes, your credit history, all
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And EIN does the same thing, but for your business.
Okay.
It keeps your business finances separate from your personal finances.
Okay, so this is like legally
Exactly.
separating the business from me as an individual.
Precisely. It's crucial for liability reasons, too.
So if something goes wrong with the business,
Exactly. They can't come after your personal assets.
they can't come after my house.
Hopefully not. No.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So what about after I get my EIN? What kind of things do I need to be aware of?
Well, the main thing is to keep your information up to date.
Okay.
Just like with your personal info, you got to let the IRS know if you move,
Oh, yeah, right.
change your business name,
Yeah.
things like that.
That makes sense.
Otherwise, you might miss important notices or documents.
You don't want your tax bill going to the wrong address.
Exactly.
Okay. So what about EIN misuse?
Unfortunately, that's a real thing.
Okay.
People can steal EINs and use them to open bank accounts,
Wow, really?
get credit cards, even create fake businesses.
Okay.
It's kind of like identity theft, but for your business.
Yeah, scary.
Yeah.
So how do I protect myself?
The same way you protect your social security number.
Okay.
Don't share it unless absolutely necessary.
Be careful about phishing scams.
Exactly.
Don't give it out over the phone or email unless you're sure who you're talking to.
Right.
All right, so it sounds like getting an EIN is easy, but there's definitely some responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah, you got to treat it with respect.
Okay, so one last thing I'm just curious about.
Sure.
What happens to my EIN if I close my business?
Good question. You actually need to officially close the associated tax account with the IRS.
Oh, really?
Yep, just to tie up loose ends and prevent any potential issues down the road.
How do I?
There's a form for that, of course.
The IRS loves forms.
They do. It's Form 8822B.
Okay,
You can find it on their website.
perfect. All right, so I think we've covered pretty much everything about EINs.
I think so.
It's not as scary as I thought it would be.
No, not at all.
It's actually a pretty straightforward process.
Right.
But it is important to understand the details.
Absolutely.
And to keep your information safe.
Yeah.
So just to kind of wrap things up for our listeners,
Okay.
I remember when I first got my EIN, I was so excited.
Yeah.
It felt like I was finally a real business.
I know that feeling.
It's just a number, but it represents so much.
It does. It's like the birth certificate of your business.
Exactly. And as your business grows and changes, so does the story behind that EIN.
It's almost like a fingerprint,
Yeah.
unique to your business.
So as you're going through this process of getting your EIN, starting your business, think about what that EIN represents.
Think about the story you're creating
Think about the journey you're about to embark on.
and how that journey is going to be reflected in that one little number.
That's a great way to put it.
Thanks.
Well, this has been really informative.
My pleasure.
I hope our listeners feel a little more confident about navigating the world of EINs.
I hope so too.
And until next time, happy entrepreneuring.
See you then.